I don't like seeing him deposed, but, you know, they certainly went after me a lot more than that. I don't like seeing him. Look, I like him, and I don't like seeing him deposed.
This says Bill Clinton's opening statement posted on X, Shannon, but even with 2020 hindsight, I saw nothing that ever gave me pause. We are only here because he hid it from everyone so well for so long. And by the time it came to light with this 2008 guilty plea, I had long stopped associating with him. Interesting to hear the president react and sort of come to his defense and say, I don't like to see this happening.
Yeah, and he had been asked, the question was, does it set a precedent? And so every sitting president's got to think about that. Does this mean I'm going to be looped into this? Because we have a number of Democrat members of the House now saying, oh, we're going to try to get him. We want his deposition as well. I think there's some part of President Trump that would like to defend himself because he says, I've got nothing to hide. But just about every legal person on his team would probably tell him, don't do it.
Yeah. Here's a little bit more of what we heard from that presser today. This is Rep. Comer speaking about how Hillary deferred a lot of her questions to her husband. Listen.
Yesterday, Ms. Clinton deferred a lot of questions to her husband today. There were at least a dozen times when she said, you'll have to ask my husband that. I can't answer that. So we already had a big portfolio of questions for him, and that increased yesterday.
Interesting.
I know. It's almost like a little bit of the heat shifting off from him to her. And she was able to say with plausible deniability, I didn't have this relationship with him. I'm not on the plane. I'm not on the island, any of that. But we know there's a lot of public information about President Clinton, his own office admitting, yes, there are flight logs. He flew with him. There are pictures. There are the pictures we have questions about, like the hot tub and the pool and what's all that. I mean, they definitely were very friendly. But the former president says that's pre-2008. And I don't know anything about the wrongdoing.
Really interesting. I also want to ask you about the news from the president just a few moments ago as we see the chopper and activity there about to depart for JBA. He said they're not happy with the way Iran is negotiating. As we head into a very uncertain weekend, Shannon, I'll get your thoughts on this. You know, they're not certain they can avoid a long drawn out conflict. They're not getting there. President Trump said to Peter Doocy when he was asked about this, what is your thinking about what we're hearing about these negotiations as they head into this fourth round of talks?
Yeah, so we're told there are going to be talks again in Vienna, but it's clear there's a ratcheting up of where we are, obviously with our military assets in the region, but also this conversation. Thought it was interesting that Vice President Vance said to the Washington Post, no way, when they were asked about a prolonged conflict. We know that's something our allies and partners in the region have been very worried about, that this would spread beyond just that pinpoint if you go into Iran. So a lot of questions about where you go next, but the president, he's been briefed by the head of U.S. CENTCOM. We know every option is right now on the table.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.